What if no one is an alcoholic? That's a label. It's just not something that is used in my world anymore. It's not like there's normal drinkers and alcoholics. Everyone, everyone that has even one glass of wine or one drink a year is on a trajectory, on a graph, a scale. Everyone has the potential to have alcohol use disorder. That's what we now call it. Instead of alcoholism, alcoholic, it's just alcohol use disorder. And everybody's on the spectrum that drinks alcohol. Everybody. And I can't say what tipped the scales for me exactly. It's just that over time, my alcohol use increased from take it or leave it to drinking maybe a glass a day. It just kept increasing to, 2 glasses, 3 glasses, bottle, 2 bottles of wine. Then it switched to hard alcohol. It just kept increasing. Now, I think a lot of people, you can just drink and be what we call a normal drinker, although I believe anybody could have the potential to have alcohol use disorder. Everybody and anybody. No one is immune. No one. Here's the thing. Once you start to use alcohol as a coping mechanism, or something happens, a lot of times something happens in somebody's life and they just, drink a glass of wine here and there or a couple glasses of wine. And then something really major happens like COVID, the pandemic. A lot of people started drinking more during the pandemic, and you are not alone. You are not alone, and it is not your fault. It is just not your fault. Alcohol is addictive to every human being, and every human being has the potential to tip that scale, and then all of a sudden you're drinking every day, and it's really hard to get out of that cycle. That cycle kind of feeds on itself. So I want you to know that you're totally normal if you are drinking every day and drinking more than you want. Your brain kind of gets hijacked. I like to say that phrase because that's what it feels like. It's kind of for me, once I had alcohol use disorder and it felt like that off switch just wasn't working correctly, I needed more and more and more and every day. And then I beat myself up. But I want you to know that I have solutions, and you don't even have to stop drinking right away. The way that I work with my clients and the way that this Naked Mind methodology works is that first you start to learn, get curious, aware of your thoughts and emotions and behaviors and beliefs. And you just start to really slow down and just really get aware and curious about your drinking. So when you would say start a program with me or start working with me, you don't have to stop drinking right away. You don't. In fact, you can just start to taper. What we usually start with is called the pause, and you just drink as normally, but you start to learn and get curious. And what happens is we work together, and you can reframe your beliefs. And then eventually we maybe say, let's try a break. Let's take a break for a little bit. And we start slowly, compassionately. You start to have so much compassion for yourself because you're not alone and it's not your fault. And I have zero judgment because I've been there. So I can just listen and relate. And let's do this. Let's work together. And that's what I wanted to say, is that you are not immune. There is no alcoholic anymore. That's old school AA. That's old. It's alcohol use disorder, and every single person's on a spectrum, and you are not alone. It's happening to so many people, especially after the pandemic. And it can just happen when you start to say, I had a stressful day. I'm going to drink alcohol. That's what happened to me. So reach out to me. I'd love to hear your story and hear what your goals are. And thanks for listening. I'm Coach Ruby. Bye-bye.